An 81-year-old man in Buckhorn in Perry County is finding strength wherever he can after his home, his dog, and many belongings were washed away in the flood. Will Puckett shows us how Harold Riley is finding the strength to keep going.
For Harold Riley, he finds the days following the flooding difficult sometimes.
I've never seen this before. I'm 81 years old. I've never seen this before. I hope I never see it again.
Riley was fixing to head to sleep for the night 4 weeks ago when a call for help from his neighbors forced him from his Buckhorn home.
When I got my car here, there wasn't no water coming in here nowhere.
But when he returned, the story became much different.
And I sat there and watched my trailer go out.
Inside that trailer, everything. His beloved blue heeler named Smokey included.
He was just a friend. Me and him would ride all day long on four-wheelers. He'd get up behind me and ride too.
Now 4 weeks after that night, all that remains of his home is this metal. Football fields away from the spot of dirt his home once sat.
Lost my mowers side by side and just about everything.
Just about. This picture of his wife, who died almost 20 years ago, found in a field, surviving the flood alongside some tools.
She died in '03. Found her picture.
Now the 81-year-old is finding a way to move forward as he heals from what was torn away. In Buckhorn, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Riley tells us he did have insurance, but a safe he kept his policy in washed away. He applied for FEMA assistance, but was denied. He is appealing that decision.
Well, our cold front continues working through and out of the region this evening, bringing, thankfully, an end to the possibility for showers and storms, at least for right now. A look outside the front door here at WYMT, 82 degrees, plenty of sunshine around the region. In fact, many of us have seen plenty of sunshine today after maybe a few showers around earlier this afternoon. Temperatures are in the middle and upper 80s around the region, though already seeing a few spots cooling off quickly. 77 Harlan in Prestonsburg, same thing Clintwood and Logan, and in Moorhead at this hour. So we're starting to see those temperatures falling into the 70s a little bit faster around the mountains. Dew points, though, still in those 60s. So you'll feel the humidity when you walk outside, but it's nothing too dramatic as we head through the daytime hours. Pinpoint Doppler, this is mostly just ground clutter there along the Mountain Parkway and areas just to the south and east. Nothing that we have to worry about in terms of anything reaching the ground, and we'll continue to see those showers head on out as we head through tonight. Keep that First Alert weather app handy, though. We'll still see the potential for showers, not tonight, not really into tomorrow, but they'll be back as we head later on into the forecast. Details on that coming up a little bit later on. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The Eastern Kentucky Concentrated Employment Program, or EKSEP, is looking for employers and employees to help with flood cleanup. Thanks to a national emergency grant from the U.S. Department of Labor, EKSEP is partnering with disaster relief employers and people who were recently laid off to pay people to help with the flood cleanup. The program is hosting numerous job fairs across the region to help connect employers and employees.
To be able to make that happen and be the caveat between all of that is just really, it's very heartwarming, especially after all the heartbreak that we have seen in our region and all the devastation that we've had here.
If you're interested in applying for this opportunity, you can visit any of the EKSEP events happening in the upcoming weeks. We'll have more information on that and other ways you can apply on our website at WYMT.com. Karma Spa and Salon in Hazard is giving back to schools affected by the historic flooding. Owner Kayla Holbrook says she saw a need on social media where schools need books after their libraries were damaged by the floodwaters. She says right now they are collecting reading material for any preschools and elementary schools in flood-impacted counties.
If your child can read well, that opens so many doors, and they can learn things for themselves if they can read the material. So it's important to have good readers in your home and good reading material in your home. And it starts at school.
The salon is taking books or coloring books through this week from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. They are located near primary care in Hazard. We are entering the fourth week of cleanup, and now one Lexington private school continues to collect donations to help Breathitt and Floyd County schools get back on its feet. Kelsey Soto and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw shows us how high schoolers in Lexington at Lexington Christian Academy are helping out with backpacks, donations, and a prayer.
Let's not forget about Eastern Kentucky.
The students, faculty, and staff at Lexington Christian Academy haven't forgotten. It's week 4 into the devastating flood cleanup, and they continue to collect and donate items for Eastern Kentucky schools. Last week, senior Andrea Newland organized a backpack drive for students in Floyd County.
I did this just because I really love, when I see a need, taking the opportunity to serve others.
110 backpacks donated, stuffed with school supplies. Fellow senior Colby Bruner helped with the drive.
It's definitely a starting point. I don't think it's minimal because it impacts students. Every little thing that you do for someone will help them in a big way.
I would say easily we are talking about over 100 LCA families are connected to Eastern Kentucky in some form or fashion.
Leslie Sizemore Hardin is the LCA Director of Admissions. Their next mission is to collect monetary donations and buy clothes and shoes for students in Breathitt County schools.
I think our prayer is to make it a little easier, to take one less worry off of a student or a parent's mind.
Shopping begins Tuesday night. Drop-off of clothes and shoes happens Friday.
One of the messages that we've shared with Breathitt County is that this is not a one and done. We are in this all school year.
LCA calls its scholars to be the Lord's hands and feet, and it seems the student body is moving in the same direction.
We weren't given this stuff to just sit there and do nothing. We were given it to go help others and bless others because that's what Jesus would want us to do.
Kelsey Soto, WYMT Mountain News.
Hazard Community and Technical College staff are working directly with students impacted by the flooding to help get them back on campus. HCTC President and CEO Dr. Jennifer Linden says they are offering many resources to help students and staff. She says students that are not ready to start yet can take 12-week classes beginning September 12th. Counseling is available online and in person, and there are laptop computer loans for students that lost theirs in the flood.
What's really been apparent to us throughout this tragedy has been the resilience of our students. We've seen so many students come in who've lost everything. And when we talk to them, they talk about hope. They talk about continuing their education. They talk about completing that education because they know it's their path to a better life.
Dr. Linden says they are passionate about their students and want to help them get back on campus as soon as they are ready. States with restrictive abortion policies could have trouble recruiting college students. A new survey shows 30% of college sophomores would consider switching schools to states with less restrictive abortion policies. Many students say they find leading universities in states like Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, and yes, Kentucky less attractive. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet started road work in 6 counties today. It's part of a $3 million safety improvement project. Crews will be in Bath, Boyd, Carter, Mason, Nicholas, and Rowan counties. They'll work on drainage, paving, and guardrail installation. The project is set to run through Friday, so expect some lane closings in those areas. As folks across the region work to rebuild their lives following the flood, safe, affordable, temporary housing is becoming a major issue. Some people are living out of their tents still as they try to get assistance from FEMA or other agencies. Senator Mitch McConnell toured damaged communities earlier this month, calling it one of the worst natural disasters in state history. He said this today at a luncheon in Scott County when asked about what was being done for flood victims.
I've been down there twice in the last couple of weeks. As you know, the General Assembly is going into special session. The governor's calling later this week. FEMA, I think, was a little slow to react in the beginning. I hear they're picking it up. They really need to. This is an utter catastrophe.
Governor Andy Beshear said this afternoon that FEMA has approved more than 2,000 applications in eastern Kentucky that were initially denied. He says there's still more work to do, but calls that great progress. A man is charged after allegedly stealing a catalytic converter. Laurel County Sheriff's deputies responded to the call in East Bernstead yesterday afternoon. Prentice Pack was arrested after information revealed the theft of a catalytic converter from a victim's truck off Old Richmond Road in London Pack is charged with criminal mischief. Operation Unite is dedicated to drug abuse prevention, using education to take on the epidemic. Today, a new group of people joined the fight as the Americorps members said their pledge and began training for the year ahead. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about their mission.
A room full of educators united with one goal.
What you're doing can make a difference.
It's just carrying out our mission and our purpose to create hope, to change the culture, and to build that foundation of prevention. We're saving generations.
Operation Unite welcomed its newest group of Americorps partners Monday, kicking off a training session before embarking on a year of educating.
It's just inspiring to know that our children are going to have someone who are helping them get on the right path.
Focused on the Too Good for Drugs curriculum, math tutoring, disaster management, and more, the new cohort will divide and conquer in schools across the region.
It gives me faith in the future. It gives me hope that we're going to be able to make a difference in the lives of these children.
With a large part of that plan presenting the truth about substance abuse, planting the seeds of information for families before students enter 6th grade.
It's scary to know what can happen, and it can happen to any family regardless of socioeconomic status, regardless of their religious belief, regardless of their faith.
Saying it is about more than the operation. It is about opportunity.
To feel less pressure, more acceptance, build their self-esteem, and those little things can add up to big things for their future, to just guide them in the right way.
Changing the culture by cultivating change. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The Unite Service Corps will soon have 58 members serving in 58 elementary schools across the region.
Well, it's getting toastier here in the mountains. The very latest on the potential for temperatures back above normal coming right up. Plus,
children from across our region were at the Challenger Learning Center in Hazard today, having their questions answered live by an astronaut aboard the International Space Station.
WYMT News app offers alerts on